right. Unbelievable finish. And it took all three phases, just like we imagined, just like we pictured. First and foremost, just, the grit in our guys, in our group, to keep battling for a team that was moving the ball well. But the defense to come out 1 for 5 in the red zone is a big deal for us. Offensively, we had the first early, the interception. Ball kind of got hung up in the wind, it felt like. It definitely was a factor in the choices that we were making, in this stadium. But again, the run game came alive. There was some balance, and the critical 2-minute drive there at the end. Really with the mix of run and pass, to try to get it done there. So I'm really proud of this group. And again, there's stuff to look at. There's stuff to say, okay, we gave up some big plays, in some different scenarios, and offensively, we missed some opportunities as well. I think a lot to learn from, but again, just building in the confidence of this group to believe we could just, if we play our style of ball, we keep ourselves in it, we'll give ourselves a chance to finish the way we want to.
Dave, you mentioned the win. Was the decision to take the ball first related to that, and when you would get it going which way?
Yeah, I got to give a lot of props to Tracy Smith. He and I were talking before the game, and he was like, if we take the ball, we can set ourselves up to have the ball with the wind to our backs to finish the game, to give us an opportunity, and it played out just like that. It was unbelievable, but it took all of us doing right, to make it happen. So it was a little bit of a change from what we normally do. We'd normally defer in that situation, but the wind was a factor in that decision.
Dave, I know the wind was a factor in the passing game, but what the defense did with the turnovers and the stops, was this just a matter, like you said, of execution, or was this guys just kind of stepping up in the right spots?
Yeah, it was execution, and it was putting pressure on the quarterback. When he did have time, he hurt us on a couple of balls down the field, and when we put pressure on him, he let the ball out early. Mike Jack had an opportunity there at the end on that 4th down in the red zone, to make it a little less interesting. I would have liked to see how far he could go on that one right there. But it was all the guys working together, attacking our rush plan, all that, and then just coming up with those opportunities, boom, with the punch out early on. That's a huge one. You talk about, that early drive in the game. So, just really proud of these guys.
You brought up.
Like you were going to really lean on defense, lean on the run game, but Bryce makes some big plays at the end, including it appeared that he made a big check on the Rico play. Was that a check, and what did he see?
Absolutely, and he just, I think the best part of it was he functioned so well, and he anticipated, he operated quickly. This is a group that we really respect defensively speaking, with their pass rush and the challenges that we knew they were going to present to us, and Bryce did a magnificent job of getting the ball out in rhythm. You get one hitch, and that ball better come out. But it was good to see him move around, pick up a couple of first downs with his legs as well. And that's just a tribute to him being aggressive, knowing when to hold him, knowing when I got to go, and being decisive really helped us there.
You brought up the interception. There was also the conduct penalty that led to the missed extra
Yes.
point. Those could have bitten you in a 3-point game.
Yeah.
The fact that you guys were able to stay the course after those two moments, what does that say about your team?
Yeah, they're resilient, and we're learning to trust and have confidence at the same time. We'd like to do better. We got to do better in those situations, especially in a tight game like this. We put ourselves in a hard spot. There was a thought to try to go for 2 there. We'd have been somewhere around the 16 or 17 yard line, I think, on the 2-point. The odds aren't great from that spot right there, but we knew we had that headwind on the kick, so I decided to go with the kick, and it came up short right there. So that was a kind of a split decision I had to make right there.
Can you expound on that 19-yard run by Rico at the end that set Ryan up, and if it was a check?
Oh, it was not a check. That was a called play. That was they were loading the box up, but they were pretty thinned out in terms of how they rushed. I got to give the O-line props for handling the movement. That's the hardest part. If you're going to run the ball on 3rd down, you have to be ready for the exotic looks, and with guys standing up in different spots, and then after that, it's Rico just hitting it hard and finding a little daylight and really flipping the field for us right there.
On that note, you talked about how much you like how violent he runs. What did you see, especially today?
From carry 1, it was attitude, it was aggression and violence at the end of it, and it really does affect the group. It affects the whole sideline when they see that kind of energy and that kind of violence. It gives them confidence, and it's who we want to be. And so, just really loved what he was able to do with that.
You talked about your group of offensive linemen, but Jake Curhan's not someone who's been here for 3 years. How was he able to kind of step in and stabilize that position at a time when you needed?
Jake and I were together in Seattle, so he's got a lot of familiarity with our run game, our pass protection philosophy and how we handle things. He's a very sharp guy, and he's got a lot of versatility. I've seen him play all but center, really, I think, in the time that I've been around him. And to be able to pick him up, from Arizona's practice squad, a couple of weeks ago was huge for me because it gives us another veteran player that allows us to have the continuity for when things happen, and he did a great job going in there and executing with the guys.
Did you have an issue on the celebration penalty, either with Rico's celebration or the decision to flag that particular celebration?
I didn't see it. So I heard about it. They're jogging off the field, and they're happy about the touchdown. We have to do better. We got to put ourselves in position right there to make it more challenging. We can't give the opponent anything, especially a good opponent like this. Any margin that you give them can come back to hurt you.
Any process, any building process seems to need a game like this or two. How big is this and what you're trying to build?
It's huge because it just comes down to the fundamentals and basics of football. It's tackling, it's blocking, it's executing. And to get into this type of environment, this is a special place. The fans are unbelievable, and this is a really good team. And we understood all those things and what it was going to take for us to have a chance to win this game was doing right longer. And that's our mentality. And that's also the things that we have to capture. Can we capture this style of football? It didn't show up for us last week. It showed up for us today, to get back to our basics and execute. And, these are the things that you need to know what to expect when we get into close games like this.
We've all seen young players kind of have a mishap and just kind of let it linger. T-Mac had the drop in the end zone. Later comes up with a big catch. He's done this multiple times. Can you speak to his resilience in particular?
It's refocus, and that's a skill that he's very comfortable with. He's very confident in his ability, and he knows play gets away from him, he's just going to go right back to work, and he's got that kind of demeanor and mentality. And he knows, I'm going to count on you. I'm going to keep calling plays that target you, primarily, and he knows that expectation from us to just keep playing ball.
The secondary held up very well, especially when Jordan went out of the pocket and Trayvon had the interception. Was there any extra emphasis with the secondary making sure not to allow those big plays? There weren't a lot of penalties or any penalties in the second.
Absolutely. That's 2 weeks now, really, of playing quarterbacks who have the ability to extend the play with a really talented skill group and making sure that we stay connected to guys all the way through the down. Even on the fourth down, I've seen that play go the other way, and Jordan Love kind of rears back, throws it across the field, and Mike Jack had the presence of mind to stay with his guy on that one and could have come up with a big interception, but either way, he was in the right spot at the right time. And so having the carryover from 1 week to the next and the emphasis of plaster, stay connected to your guys, really, prepared us for this.
Just was it safe? The interceptions that were there when it seemed to kind of hang in the air forever. Like, what's going through your head as you're watching that fly?
Yeah, he was camped underneath it. It was kind of, I was thinking about, Pajes running down that fly yesterday in the game, and Trey was back there and he made the play for us and got a nice return out of it too, which was critical, I thought.
Just wasn't safe for Ryan to come back and make that kick after missing the extra point earlier to make the game unbelievable.
I just love his confidence to get back out there, give us a chance, with the challenge and the wind at his face, and all of a sudden you have it at your back. A big moment. Crowd was as loud as it was all day, and to have the focus to hit that one, we trusted in him to do it, and we got down there. I don't know if we had much of a choice, but Ryan just has the same kind of ability. He bounces back. He learns lessons. He stacks, and he just continues to improve.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
Okay, thank you.